Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp of the Limp, and I'm here with one that's just a little bit different. This is just me spitballing, throwing out some stuff off the cuff. Something I've been thinking about, and I saw this, and it just started rattling around back at the noodle, and it got me thinking about the YouTuber effect, or the reviewer effect. The basic gist, and the fact that in today's world, right? Advertising is not done by TV. Back when I was a kid, most of y'all were a kid, if you want a toy, they would advertise it on G.I. Joe commercials or Ghostbusters or stuff like that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But if you wanted something like publishers, designers, whoever, they wanted to sell something, they would advertise it on TV. Well, people don't trust TV anymore, right? All those people were paid off. You never know if something was really good because, it's paid advertising. So people shied away from that. YouTube exploded. And now, obviously, we have YouTubers now who review everything. Doesn't matter. Food, cars, computer components, and, of course, games are all reviewed by just individual people, right? Just doing it. And looking at this here, right, it got me thinking, how big of an effect does that really have? How much are we doing this? And I think it's greater than some people realize. Some people take advantage of it and some don't. And that if you are interested in anything nowadays, what's the first thing you do? You pick up your tablet, pick up your phone, you type it in YouTube or Reddit search or something along those lines. And that's where you find out about it or get the general lay of the land. Hell, that's how I find out about games. I look it up just like everyone else does. But I saw this latest game by DVG, and it's one of the latest in their Warfighter series. And I liked Warfighter a lot back in the day. And it's just got very few backers going on for it. And something that stood out for me was the fact that when I looked it up on YouTube, there's only one video showing this game, and it's by DVG themselves. They didn't get any YouTubers to advertise it. And then I scrolled down through, right? I'm not going to get long-winded in the game. You can go check it out. It's Warfighter. You've played Warfighter, you know what's going on with this. So anyway, I'm scrolling down through, looking at it, and I see the reviews. And I see there's a bunch of videos for it. And I'm like, that doesn't correlate. There was nothing on YouTube about this game. And then I see this isn't reviews for this Warfighter. This is reviews that others have done on previous iterations of Warfighter. So we got, Player's Aid here. They're reviewing the Pacific. I don't know who this is because it's not popping up. Marco, he did one. The Board Game Closet, War and Pieces. Derek, can't remember what he called his channel off the top of my head. You have to forgive me for that one. And it's someone else. It's all previous Warfighter coverage. And if you go to YouTube and you just pull up Warfighter DVG and you start scrolling down through, there's plenty of videos of it. And we start seeing the same videos that they've got in there as reviews. And if we scroll down a little bit more, boom, here we go. We got TheGimpyGamer, because obviously I covered a lot of Warfighter back in the day. Here's another one of my videos. Point being is that I don't understand why they're referencing all the old videos, because I think they're missing a huge piece of the puzzle here. And I have had some people who have talked to me about DVG goings on there, and evidently, it's been said to them, people have pushed for them to do more review copies. And I'm not even saying like me, like I'm done reviewing DVG stuff, but pick one or two guys, doesn't matter, someone, and you send it to them so they'll cover it, right? And get that footage out there, because their own video only had 200 views on it. Their own video showing Warfighter Chator. Am I saying that right? Yeah. CHT Chator. That's what I'm thinking. Has to be that. Yeah, I love it. I love sci-fi stuff. I love the kind of aliens mentality. This, brings up. This would be something that I would be excited for, and I think a lot of others would be excited for it. But I didn't even know this campaign was going on until it had like 6 or 7 days left. Right, and it was just a couple days ago that I noticed this. Now they got 4 days to go, and they've got 147 backers on it. Small goal, 15,000 goal. But they've done so many Kickstarters. If we scroll down to some of their older ones, depending on the game, of course, like Corsair Leader crushed it, 620%. We look at Warfighter here, Wave 2, the Pacific, almost 500%. Even the modern one almost hit 300%. And this is back when they did a lot more advertising via YouTube. They would send out a handful of copies. They had a stable of reviewers. I was on their list there for a while, and for some reason I got knocked off of it. And I know that there ended up being a sour taste in some people's mouths, mine being one of them, because there were a couple times where I had been asked to cover games. Let's see, I think Zero Leader was one, and Warfighter Fantasy was another. And how'd they do? Yeah, Zero Leader didn't do as well, and I think that partly had to do with some of the problems they had with Corsair Leader. When it first came out, there was a lot of errata with that, but Warfighter Fantasy did really well. People are still waiting on that one. 521%. But I know some people besides just myself had covered it, did previews, right? With Zero Leader, I had to do some of my own components. I had to pull out some other leader items like board and whatnot and make my own counters and whatnot just to film it, right? And then when they were sending out the production copies, they didn't send it to everyone who had covered the game. And that ended up burning some bridges. And then later on, the rest of the bridges pretty much got burned. But if you go up, you start seeing that things get lower. One of their more recent ones, Lee, the Civil War era, it did all right. And I think it did all right because of its subject matter. We see DVG here, third option, only 146%. Flying Tigers did pretty well. We'll give them that. This Vikings thing, 159%. The Chittor that we're talking about, only whatever percentage you're at now, 100 and some odd percent. I think they're ignoring a resource that is just so cost effective for what it provides. We look here. I pulled up this one as an example because some people will say, well, it's because war gamers don't go into sci-fi or fantasy as much. Okay, well, Burning Banners by Compass Games crushed it. They did over 100,000. They had almost 1,000 backers. It was funded in a very short period of time. And this isn't all of it, right? Because remember, with Compass Games, they split. They have pre-orders on their website available and the Kickstarter. So this game did much better than you can see just by these numbers here, right? Because they sold plenty of copies on their primary website. That's actually where I've got some other games from Compass on pre-order, like Aaron Armor. It's coming up, looks really good. Excited, looking forward to that one. But when you have to do something like this, like you're linking back to old videos, I think in a way that's what's really rubbing me wrong. You're taking from the work that others have already done to promote your previous product to promote your current product, but you're not giving them anything for that. There's no recompense. There's no gratitude towards the people who have put in all of this effort. And besides that, these videos are all like 5-6 years old. And honestly, I'm willing to bet for a fact that my videos would have been listed here as well if I hadn't been publicly bashing on DVG a few times in the past. I'm sure they've seen me do it. But like here, it's a 6-year-old video, 5,000 views, which is a lot for war gamers, showing their stuff. And this, still getting views. Same with my others. God, I can't even remember how many videos I've done on the Warfighter series, because it was one of the first ones that I ever got into when I got into wargaming. But I really, really, really liked the principle and the gameplay, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I just think this is a horrid misstep on their part, where it could be done so much better. Right? It could benefit them. And I know others have told them, like, directly, pick some YouTube. And I'm not saying me. You pick someone else, whoever. I don't care. And work with them, build up that relationship, that rapport, because the production cost on something like this is not much on the individual units. I've talked to other publishers, and I know what it costs to produce these games. And I'm not going to get into the specific numbers, because, again, I don't know for sure. It has been a little bit, but I know it's a fraction of what the retail cost is. So in essence, it does not cost very much in the grand scheme of things to send out a copy to a YouTuber here, YouTuber there, however many you want. Hell, even if you had like 5, 6, 7, we're not talking about thousands. Like, in actual cost, if you did the production cost of the game plus shipping, we're talking about a few hundred at best, right? Shipping is going to be more expensive. But my whole point in talking about this is, I think that we are going to see this continue on, and game publishers, especially, and really anyone, any type of publisher, is going to have to take advantage of that social media presence, because by not doing so, you are, one, ignoring a huge resource for yourself, a huge boon, but you're not going to get your product out in front of enough eyes for it to be successful. In essence, you are handicapping yourself. And all right, just to show you here, I went ahead and pulled it up, right? Just to show you. Warfighter, Ch'Tour. There's 2 words I put in, 2 keywords. And right here, top video is from Dan Verson. So it's from Dan Verson Games. And they put this up 4 days ago. Their campaign had already been launched when they posted the video. There was no preview coverage of it whatsoever. And the next video down, Single-Handed Warfare, that's Derek's channel. Derek does really good work. Definitely check him out. I know he's not as into it. He moderates channels now, or moderates some Facebook pages. Really great guy. Good guy. Definitely check him out. But his is the next most popular video in the list, and it's 9 years old. 9, dude. 9. Come on, 9 freaking years. Are you serious? There should be other videos up showing Ch'Tour, showing what this is bringing to the table, that's new, that's going to excite the players and get them to back the game. And I'll tell you this, if they had picked a reviewer and they got a reviewer who got 5 or 10 people, we're talking about just small numbers here, to back the project, that would make them money, right? So it's not like it even costs them a lot to advertise, right? Just a handful of backers more than covers the cost of what it costs them to send these out. And I don't understand why some people ignore the resources that are out there. Compass Games does good. I've gotten review copies from them. They work with Mo a lot more than I do, and he does a real good series, the Learn to Play series, for a lot of their games, and that's helped them out. All of their Kickstarters generally crush it. They get a lot of pre-orders in it, and Compass Games is one of the leaders now for wargaming in general, right? GMT started going towards Euros, which shrank their war game market, and Compass stepped into that void. But we're not just them. Lock and Load's got some good stuff coming out, with another one, the World at War series, the World at War 85 series, Blood and Fury, which some people are hating on because that's taking a little bit of time, but supposedly it should be here soon. And then you got people like Assault Games. And I know I'm rambling, I'm off topic here, but again, I told you I'm off the cuff. Assault Games really good with their Assault Sicily 43, Assault Red Horizon. Really just excellent people stepping into the wargaming field. And you've got a plethora of choices. You've got historical, you've got any time in history. The Fate of All just came out from Thin Red Line Games. I've got that one on the table, getting ready to cover the shit out of it. Excellent stuff. And these people, the ones I'm talking about that are excelling, are taking advantage of that YouTuber effect, right? They are picking a stable. We like this guy, this guy. Honestly, I think they should divide it up a little bit. Like Mo, Kev, and I have that channel we do, Whiskey Charlie, where we talk about war games. And I would think a company wouldn't even need to send to all of us because we're all rather similar in our opinions. So they could pick one of us that they like or rotate or something like that and get different types of war game reviewers. Maybe like Rough Swordsman, he's in the UK. Get some guys from different places in the world, different voices. Hey, great, perfect. Pick 2 or 3, 4, whatever that you like, and stick with them, build up that rapport, and it can only help your business. You can only succeed for that, and you won't end up with situations like this where you have a new game coming out and the only video reviews you can post aren't even about that game. And I'm saying, from what I understand, I'm willing to bet, I would bet big money on this, that these people have not and will not be sent a copy of Warfighter Ch'Tor, even though their work was used to advertise it. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, that feels wrong. That feels like you're taking advantage of someone else's time, someone else's effort, right? Lighting, sound equipment, cameras, green screens, all this shit isn't cheap. It costs. And then the time it takes to film something, to edit it, to adjust for sound, lighting, all that good stuff, it takes a significant amount of time and effort to get it all done. Final production version. I look at some of my older videos and I'm like, dear God, the stuff I first put out was crap. But I've improved over time, gotten better equipment, and all that, costs, takes effort, and to not have any appreciation for these guys who put in that work. That just sits wrong with me. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong, if you think a publisher should be allowed to use someone's videos. And it's not even about the credit, because obviously the people here, they're getting the credit, right? Because their videos are listed, who's doing it. But it's more the fact that their work is being used with no recompense, no gratitude, no thank you for them, and they're trying to benefit off that. And that just sits wrong with me, right? And they could have picked 2, 3 of these guys, sent them a pre-production copy of it. Hey, try it out, film it, let us know what you think. We'll post it up, blah blah blah, and put them in a good position, right? Hell, I did preview videos for DVG on a few of their games. Like there was one, where is it? For What Remains. There it is. That one didn't do as well as it should have. David Thompson game, very good. Multiple versions of it, and I think that's partly what caused all the problems with that one, is the fact that they had like 3 different versions of the game, and it turned into a thing. And I think people had kind of like a FOMO, fear of missing out, as far as that was. Different story, but For What Remains is a good game. David Thompson, great designer. Definitely check that one out. All right, I'll climb down off my high horse here. Warfighter Ch'Tor has funded, so they're going to make it for less than a couple hundred people. I just think this number would be double what it is, at least, if they had invested just a little bit and had some guys doing some preview work, get some word out there. Because come on, if I'm in the industry. If I'm working around board games all the time and I don't find out about your game, your campaign until it's got 5 days left on it, then you are not getting the word out. You are not advertising enough. And you really need to change that up. Now I hate that because DVG's had some really good games back in the day and they've done really well in the past, but they are just on a trajectory right now that is not muy bueno. Gotta say. All right, well, that's going to be it for me. You guys stay tuned. I will have some The Fate of All coming up. I'm going to have some more digital games as well. Want to get some more Headquarters World War II. Full version of that game is up. Make sure you go check it out. It's on Steam. Excellent, excellent, excellent tactical, I would say hex, but square and vehicle, square and unit type game. Really, 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 really good. Definitely recommend that one. All right. That's going to be it for me. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.